Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be doing technical analysis on overall stock market. So before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get all my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of long-term and short-term setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. With that being said, let's get right into it, guys. So, stock market, well, Trump ends all US trade talks with Canada. Who knows for how long? But the market, S&P 500 closes at record Friday, which is a big thing for S&P 500, and especially for your 401k, which is up massively at this point, and it just happened within just 2.5 months. Now, we are back in greed. So, when things are getting really frothy and greedy out there, you're supposed to lock in some profit and go into cash because, I'm not saying that we're just going to go and crash, but pullback is right around the corner, guys. Now, the market today, inflation, the PC data came out hot. Michigan sentiment, I think, was also not really good. Despite all that, market, especially S&P and Nasdaq 100, Dow was also participating today, up 1%, Nasdaq up 0.5%, S&P up 0.5%, and Russell going flat for the day. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. You can see right here on top, consumer cyclical leading the way. Then you got communication services, industrials, consumer defensive, and right here you got basic materials going in the red, energy, healthcare, and even utilities not really up for the day. Stock market map. Well, what is driving this rally? Well, first of all, Fed printing money once again. Second thing, we got Nvidia. This monster of a stock, now the highest and the most valuable company on earth. Up once again, another brand new all-time high, 1.76%. Another one that is also leading the market, Microsoft, almost $500 per share today, guys. Huge. Apple stock still nothing really going on, absolutely flat. But I think the big move is coming on Apple, and you're gonna see Apple hitting all-time highs, maybe within next couple weeks or two, maybe couple months. It's just a matter of when things breaks out. I can call it. Google was up today nearly 3%, Meta up near all-time highs, Amazon up 2.85%, and Tesla going down 0.66%. Consumer defensive, you can see Costco, Walmart, all are lighting up in the green. Then we got some banks are down today, but these banks are just ripping, guys, because how easy now to get money. And if the Fed is printing money again, well, these things are flying, and that's why you're seeing some strength on IWM. Not really big one, it's not leading, but it's still there. And the market just, putting in a brand new all-time high, and today's closing was extremely bullish. Yes, there was some short squeeze in the market, but who cares, guys? I mean, we got to brand new all-time high from April 4th. I think the market was going down in a horrific way where people were just, running for the door. And now we're back at all-time highs. Now, is this the time to, buy and, be a big bull? I don't think so. I think we should be, aware of that, where market can pull back anytime, and a market can actually pause or consolidate, and that should, take place maybe within a few weeks, or who knows, maybe even after 4th of July. So, that's coming next week, but market hitting all-time highs in a quick time. Now, remember this, when things go up really quickly, they can also come down. I'm not saying it's going to come down and retest 480 and all that, but it can definitely come down and give up some of those gains, and we can find ways to get in and participate in that rally back up to the upside. Otherwise, if you're just chasing, I don't think it's a good spot to be new money long here in this market. Now, let's have a look at S&P 500. On SPY ETF, it's up 0.5%. Now, a couple things I want to talk about, guys. I mean, you can see when the market was selling off, what happened? We went under the lower Bollinger Band for how many days? One, two, three, fourth day. We saw the massive bounce that came from the 90-day pause. And that pause possibly will get extended, or maybe there might be some tariff that it's going to go into places where it was paused before. Now, the point I'm making that when we get really oversold, trading below lower Bollinger Band, things go back up. It happens, you can see time and time, over and over. Now, what's happening? Well, we're trading for almost fourth day outside the Bollinger Band. And what happened today? Well, market was going up, grinding and going up. We got up to 616.39, brand new all-time high was hit. And then what happened? A little bit of pullback because of that Canada news came out, I guess Trump tweet, and there was a little bit of a shakeup, just a small, tiny, I mean, nothing big, $2, $3 pullback down to where? Well, then previous all-time highs, that 611 area. And look at what happened. I mean, if you look at this like 5 minute chart, I mean, my God, I mean, look at this, guys. The dip was bought up like hyenas. Like, it's like food for hyenas right here. This thing went back up immediately, closing near 615. So that is how the market is reacting right now to any dip in the market. Let alone we gapped up last week, so there is a gap at 600, and now we're trading at 615. So forget about these gaps. I don't know when these gaps are going to get closed, but we're heading higher. But in this case, this is not a zone to go new money long. This is not a zone to go open a new position. You need to wait. If there is nothing out there, everything is hitting all time highs, can't do nothing. You just have to be patient with this market. So, going into Monday session, again, we have a short week. Friday is the 4th of July, guys. And I'll be running, I don't know what I'll be running, but there will be some special for you guys to join Patreon if you want to join. I'll announce that possibly when we get closer to it, but keep an eye on it. I'll be posting stuff on Discord, maybe on X, and then you will see it on my channel what the discount is. And there is some great trades that took place recently. I even made a video about it on Nike. I'll share that trade a little bit later. But S&P 500 next week we have a short week. Friday market will be closed for 4th of July. We only have 4 days. So, big boys, people that are running this market already left for vacation because it's Friday. So, this is how it goes. I mean, most people are off from, today, Friday, and they'll be off for the weekend. And next week most people, some people maybe working 1 or 2 day, and then on to next weekend, Friday, 4th of July, and it's a long weekend. So the market, I think, is just gonna stay stable, maybe slow grind up a little bit more, or possibly just consolidation. So what can you do next week? Well, if there is a pullback again down here, you can day trade, possibly at 610, 611. But if it gets under 610, you need to get out immediately. That would be something that nobody's talking about. And I'm going to say this in my video that yes, we got brand new all-time high. Yes, we are back up. It's a really nice V shape within 2.5 months. But this could be also look above and fail, right? Look at this. How many times we got up here? Failed, came back, went back up, failed, came back, went back up, and then we saw the big sell off. And now we're going back up. We made brand new all time highs, but is it actually sustainable? Things are trading outside the Bollinger Band. Even the RSI getting to that overbought zone right here, you can see. And there is also a bearish divergence that is playing out here on that daily time frame. So this is exactly the time to be on cash. Look out for any pullback that comes with any kind of catalyst, any news, whether it could be tariff or maybe war breaks out again. we have to be patient with this market. If you're just going blindly here, thinking about that's my target up here at 628, it's gonna come and you're gonna make money. Well, you can make money, but risk you're taking, to make that upside move is just too much, just too much. So next week, if this thing gets back down here, consolidate, maybe you can day trade and possibly back up to 616, maybe even 620. But if this thing breaks below that 610, 611 previous all-time high, then it's coming back to the 5-day moving average 608, and underneath that you will see a move down to 605, and then the gap fill reversal can happen at 600. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. There is no subscription, nothing like other people. It's totally free. And you can always ask me a question right here on X if you have. Now, patience always pays. And why? Because you can see it right on my screen, 321.25, right? And now, almost end of June. Not too long, guys. December is still far away. Another, almost 6 months. These calls were down. The shares, they were down a little bit. Not that much, but the calls were down. From going down, these calls going in the money, and we added a lot more when Nike dropped. This was the original position. We added even more, and today, what happened? It's going in the money over 200%. Some people got 150% or more, but most cases, I mean, this was a fantastic trade. But all it took, lot of waiting. And if you're just somebody who likes to trade zero DTs, well, it's not gonna work. Bunch of people made money on this play and still holding calls, and I'm still holding all my shares and some runners on Nike, which I'm not selling. I think it has the potential to go up even more to 90s, possibly even 100. So if you're somebody who's really serious about trading and this is what you want to do, I'm not talking about window shoppers that they think, oh, this is a nice play, I'm going to go and join, and the next day I'm going to make you know uh, $20,000. No, that's not how things work. These people that actually made money, they're here on my Patreon for years, and that's why they're making money, because they know how I trade. They know there could be one or two losers, but I'm gonna come back up and give them like five, six winners. Nobody can win all the trades. I'm not saying all my trades are great and I have a 100% record. I don't have that. Nobody has that. But we win, a lot of these trades we win, and we win big way, especially holding. Another one that we're holding and still no sell on that, which is UNH, and I am expecting a move up to 400. That's gonna come, and you guys are going to see that. I'm going to share that play also when we get closer to 400 on UNH. So if you're really somebody who's serious about trading, you want to join, you want to make money, you want to learn, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon, guys. On triple Q, it's up 0.34%. So you can see it got up to almost 550, which is insane that it was right here at 400 and now it's trading, I mean, $150 up within just a matter of couple weeks, guys. I mean, it takes years to go up like this. But again, once again, market is telling us that there is so much money in the system. Talking about inflation going down and everything will be fine, and I know there are rumors out there and even some news that, oh, a housing market is coming and cooling off. I don't know. There are some houses, in different states that are, not probably selling as much as, others are, but absolutely garbage. It's not what do you think? Because so much money in the system. People can buy stuff, people can do stuff, people can invest, and that's why you're seeing all this money coming in into this market, and not to mention Fed printing money and borrowing money again will be really easy if they do rate cuts. And I know there are people out there, they always talk about oh, the rate cuts are extremely bearish and market will just go and die like it did back in 2008 and uh 2000, 2000, 2002 crisis and all that. Well, I know you'll say, oh, well, this time is different, right? We will see how that works out. Let me just put it that way. So far, there is so much money in the system, and that's why you're not seeing. I mean, this dip was created by Trump. You understand what I'm saying here, guys? This dip, this fear of tariff was created by Trump, and you know how that goes. It was totally an inside job. A lot of these people that are in the government, and I'm not blaming Trump or anything. It could be Biden, it could be anybody, it could be Clinton. There's always inside trading. Even Obama, it happens all the time. Not that I'm saying that Trump is doing all these trades. No, that's not how it works. But you guys know the point I'm trying to make. It's a family thing. It's an inside job. There's so many people out there that they know these informations, how things will play out, and they create this fear, this dip, because market was at all-time highs, right? And the dip was bought up because so much money in this system, guys. And that is why until the money dries up, until you see people losing jobs, which is not the case, the only thing we saw today, and market did not even give a crap about it, which was PC data hotter than expected, right? Market did not really do anything. It didn't even go red when it came out. It was up. It gave back like a buck 50, and it was pretty much holding up all day. So what is the next step? Well, the 550 call wall here remains a strong resistance here on triple Q. But again, just like SPY, it was below the lower band. We went up. Now we're outside the Bollinger Band, and I think we will come back in for a retest. At least I would say this 539 to 540 range, which is going to be a decent move to the downside. Now, the 5 day is also there, so that's going to be a strong level to watch. But if that gives up, we might be pulling back down to 536, maybe even down to this gap 532 from last week. Once we get under that, then we could be making a decision that this was a look above and fail. But so far, it's holding strong. This is a weekly close over previous all-time highs. So technically, bulls are on parade, and it's looking really good for more upside. But again, you got to be really cautious chasing at these levels and going long, or even trying to be participating in anything right now, because the market already broke out and made a massive move from these lows, and now you're trying to go in, and you might be getting that back that you might be holding, buying at brand new all-time high. So Dow Jones, no difference right here. Also up nearly 1%, and we traded way outside the Bollinger Band. We did not even look back to close this gap. 434. There was a slight pullback, but it did not came back down. So now, well, as long as it remains over this gap, 433 to 434, it can push up to 445, and possibly will make brand new all-time high, because S&P and Nasdaq 100, they made all-time highs uh, today, and even I think yesterday. So Dow, this is going to be key level to watch, gap fill reversal. Now, if that don't hold, in that case, watch out for 428 and then 426, this gap all the way down here. On IWM, it's absolutely flat on the day, even though we went up to 217.41, came back and pretty much closed flat on its face. So what is interesting that if the market is hitting all-time highs, you're going to see small caps leading the way, followed by especially Nasdaq, S&P, and all the other ones. But we saw that before, and even right now. So there are some things that are not lining up. It's nowhere near all-time highs. Yes, we did hit all-time high, before that tariff and all that, 243 and all that. But now it's not nowhere near 243, 52-week high. It's not near all-time high. So that is the red flag here. But if you look at my screen, I mean, it can go, guys. It can definitely go. This Bollinger Band expanding, and if this thing is holding over this 215 range, the next stop definitely we can come up into this range, which is 227 to 220. Now to the downside, if this thing breaks below 215, there will be support right here at 213.87, and then there is a gap down here near 211. So that should act as a support on IWM, and we will see how this plays out next week. But so far, I mean, this thing is holding up well. Now, talk about VIX. This thing getting absolutely destroyed today. I mean, we talked about it before that it was consolidating here, and maybe we get to see a breakout or a breakdown. And boy, oh boy, did this thing break down. I mean, look at this, guys. Another Friday, and VIX getting crushed all the way down to 16 bucks. I mean, only thing I can say, I mean, this is a strong level right here, guys. From these levels, that 15 to 16, we do get massive, massive pumps from here. You can see time and time we had this, pull back here, then big pop all the way up to 30. Came back in, we had this pop. We had this pop right here. Then this one right here. Then this was the recent one, and then came back in again into these levels, and then the tariff thing came out, and look at the move up to 60, and then came back down. So we're getting back into that zone where VIX can spike. So that is something to watch. 15 to 16. If this thing can get over 18, then we have a move on VIX that can, go even higher up to 20 plus. But as of right now, I mean, with these candles, it's not really looking that bullish as of right now. So watch out, VIX also falling. Another thing I want to look at is oil, guys. And we had the massive move, and since the pause news came out, we had this mega gap down with a massive bearish engulfing candle. And now, I mean, for past few days, I mean, you would think this is a bear flag, and it could be we might be coming all the way down to retest this trend line, which is going to be around 70. And you can see we got a bunch of gaps down here that we gapped up, and we are still holding over the breakout. So it's not fully confirmed that this is it. I think oil will make a big move back up to the upside. It can possibly go to 90 to 100. But, and even that, news with Israel and Iran, I don't think it's over, guys. I think we're just buying time. I don't think Israel want to, do this ceasefire, and even Trump. I think what the goal in Iran, not just get rid of nuclear, get rid of that regime. And if you're gonna do that, it's gonna spark a big conflict, right? And so far, we just put a band-aid on it, and that band-aid is put on by Trump. Whether you agree or not, it could be, Ayatollah and Netanyahu, and they both don't really matter. This band-aid is forcefully put on by Trump, saying that, hey, I'm the big dog, and I'm telling you, we gotta pause. We stop fighting each other, and let's just pause. So, I don't know how long that's going to last, but I think this conflict is not over, and it's just a matter of time. This thing is coiling up again, and something is got to give, something is got to happen, because if the goal is to change the regime, well, then the whole regime is there. He's alive and well, and nothing really got hurt. They probably didn't destroy that much of that nuclear site. So we'll see how that plays out. That's why I think oil will make a move. We might come back down a little bit more, but at some point it's gonna make that move. And you guys saw that what they did before with defense stocks. They crushed it, and then they bought it before that big jump, and now they're bringing oil down. So who knows? What the plan is here, because we will never get it. Immediately. We can just guess. We can just look at the news. We can look at different data and make a judgment that this war is possibly not over. And I would say I'm possibly 90 to 95% sure that there will be a spark again, and you're gonna see it, guys. So be careful trading into this environment where market hitting all-time highs, everything is cool, inflation going back up, and they were not cutting the rates because inflation was sparking back up. And that's what Powell said. But also he made that comment where, you know uh, I guess the easy way to say it is printing more money. And if that's what's happening, it happened before, back in 2020. And what happened? Market recovered, and boom. And now, market pretty much smelling that money coming in and already hitting all-time highs. So if this rally get stopped. Only thing can stop it if the tariff comes back or the war comes back, and some things that escalate really bad, and then you see some sort of a pullback in the market. That is the only thing we can hope for. Otherwise, technically, it's all bullish, and we're just heading higher. And we might get those shallow pullbacks, but nothing big will happen until we get a big catalyst. And earning seasons are already coming back again. So we'll see how that plays out and what move Apple makes, whether Apple goes back up to all-time highs and the market and some of the other names like Microsoft, Nvidia takes a back seat, because I think upside on those stocks are very limited, pretty much nothing. Then Apple has at least $50 upside as of right now. So that's all I have for you guys. Let me know your comments down below in the comment section. What do you guys think? And I'll definitely keep you guys updated